Hello, welcome to Seasons Cleanings. I am Shenna Von K, your cleaning lady, and today's episode is actually our final episode of the season. We are ending here at Christmas time, and I'm going to cram all things cleaning into this episode to wrap up the year. On today's episode, I am going to give you 14 rules, cleaning rules that help you achieve a better clean and make it easier for you. And they're kind of throughout the professional cleaning business, just known by. And so I'm going to give you 14 of those. Then I'm going to go and give you 9 must-have cleaning products. Like if I didn't have any other cleaning products, these are the 9 that I have to have. And I thought this is a really good place to kind of start if you're getting your cleaning caddy where you gather all of your cleaning supplies. So I'll give you 9 of my top must-have cleaning supplies or equipment in my caddy. I'm going to give you 5 ways to make it fun, which is also one of the rules, but we'll get into that one. I'm going to give you 3 cleaning quotes that you can kind of use as you're cleaning, and we use them at Another One Bites the Dust Cleaning Services, which is my local cleaning business, and they're just those things that pop in your head as you're cleaning, and I think you'll enjoy them. And then we will end with 2 cleaning habits that I have repeatedly said, but these are the ones that are, if you're gonna start a new habit this year and add something to your cleaning to help you keep up, these 2 things are a great way to start. So we will go ahead and get in today's episode. The 14 rules of cleaning. Rules of cleaning. Doesn't that sound exciting? No, I'm sure it doesn't. But I live by these rules because they help make my cleans in my clients and in my own home way more efficient. We will start with rule number 1, which I'm sure everyone knows this one and we hear it all the time, but that is working top to bottom. You cannot miss this one. This one is the most important rule because it literally is how you have to clean in order to get everything. The last thing you want to do is, sweep up the floors and then you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to clean the countertops, and you're knocking stuff down and it all lands on the floor and you just have to redo what you just did. So you're always wanting to work top to bottom. So you're working with how things fall and working with gravity, and it's just a really good place to start. So every time, every room, start top to bottom. Look up, work down. Number 2 is working with the grain. So when you have, I see this a lot, I'll watch like a YouTube video and they do like the cleans with me, and every once in a while I'll see them not working with the grain, and it like drives me a little bit nuts because there's a couple reasons you want to work with the grain. And what I mean by that is if you've got, say you have stainless steel and there's little lines in the stainless steel, you want to wipe with the grains of the lines, not going against them. You can scratch if you do that on some surfaces, but also working with the grains, you're going to get a streak free. So like if you have wood floors and if they're going up like this and you're wiping like this, you're going to see more streaks. So if you go like this, you're actually working with it and it gets a better clean. So you want to work with the grain. That is one that we use on almost all surfaces. Some surfaces you really can't do that, but the ones that you can, especially like stainless steel and wood floors, do. Number 3 is cleanest to dirtiest, but also sometimes dirtiest to cleanest. So I like this rule because it works well in, like for instance, if you're using a certain cloth for cleaning, that if you go in, like when you're doing the dishes, and you go in and you have some like glasses that are barely used, and then you have pots and pans that have like caked on stuff. You actually don't want to take your clean sponge and go and clean all the dirty ones because it's going to get onto your sponge. You want to work the cleanest to the dirtiest so that your sponge gets dirtier as it gets to the last one, and you'll get a better clean for all of them. So that's always good for that rule. That's good for like also window cleaning. If you're doing all your windows, you want to do more of the inside cleaner windows, because once you've cleaned an outdoor one, you're wiping off a lot more, so your towel can get dirtier. So it just makes it a little bit easier to work cleaner to dirtier. The times that I switch that up and I work dirtier to cleaner is like in bathrooms and kitchens, kind of knocking out the hard areas. And in bathrooms, we especially want to wait to the end on the toilet. Kind of makes sense, right? Number 4, this is like one of my favorite rules, which is make it pretty. And this is if we take everything off the countertops and then we go to put them back in after cleaning underneath all the countertops. We kind of wipe off stuff, put them back on, and we set it and make it look pretty. Or like in the bathroom, we will fold the toilet paper and fold paper towel rolls and fold towels in and lay things down nicely and have bottles and labels facing you. So it's just when that area is nice and clean, we're not just like setting them back kind of randomly. We kind of put a little bit of order in them and just make it look pretty. Number 5, this is one that I don't know if it's something that I made up, or I know a lot of other cleaning companies will go left to right or right to left, but I do more of a, it doesn't matter where you start, you just pick a spot and then you follow the wall. So usually, this is in like living rooms and things like that, you're gonna start on one corner and you just work up and down, kind of dusting. Maybe that's probably what it's for more than anything. It's like up and down, and you're going one space at a time, moving, and you're following the wall. And then if you have a big open area, you'll follow the wall and then kind of work in as a spiral to end right into the middle, and then, or at the end towards a door, so you can kind of work that way as well. But you follow the wall when you're cleaning. So if you walk into a bedroom, you just start, either to the right or to the left, pick a spot, and then just use the wall as an indicator to go around. Don't hop around too much, because that's how you miss spots, or you just, no, actually that's it. You just miss spots and you don't want to do that. So follow the wall. Number 6 is read your labels. I think this is something that is missed a lot, because you get excited, you see a product and it says all the stuff it can do, but you really want to turn around, read the label, and understand each product that you're using in your house, because there are lots of them, can only be used on some and not on others. You don't want to strip anything or ruin anything. Some of the chemicals are harder, so read the labels for safety instructions and how to use them. And also, sometimes you'll find products that you have in your house, you'll read the label and be like, oh, I can use this on this and this, and then you try it on something else and you're like, wow, okay, I've been using it for this, but I'm going to start using it on this. Number 7 is make it fun. I think this is so important, because cleaning is something that we have to do, and unless you can afford to hire a cleaning company, which is such a nice delegating move. But for everybody else, cleaning is something we have to do, and I think that you gotta make it fun. For a while there, a few years back, actually it was quite a while back, when I was cleaning, I started to get really bored of cleaning, and I was having a hard time and really struggling. I was like, oh, I don't wanna clean anymore. So I just kind of was like, well, you either stop what you're doing or you find a way to make it fun, so you enjoy it. So I started to do that, and over the years, I could really honestly make a whole video on how to make it fun, from all sorts of aspects, from making a game out of it, to what to listen to watching, to games, I said that already, but timing yourself. There's just a lot of ways that you can make it fun. So I definitely will have to make a video when we are back. But for now, I'm just gonna give you kind of my top 5 favorite make it fun ways to do that. One of the ways to do it is you can actually assign certain things to certain cleans. I know that doesn't make sense, but let me explain. So you basically if you are doing dishes, maybe you have a certain podcast that you listen to, and so every night it's like a 30-minute, well, maybe it doesn't take 30 minutes, but maybe it's like a 10-minute segment of something, or on YouTube or a podcast, and you're like, hey, every night I listen to this one podcast, or if you clean, it takes you a few hours once a week on Saturday or something like that, you could have an audio book, or you can find something like that that can kind of space up the time, because your ears are available, and as you're cleaning, a lot of it is very just going through the motions. So it's one thing that you can kind of have a secondary going on and knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. But it's fun to kind of assign something that you like, so you can look forward to it and enjoy that clean. I also use music as one, and I use it in different ways as well. Again, I could really go into a lot of detail on making it fun, but one thing about music is you can either listen to something that's upbeat, that just helps you get going, especially if you feel yourself kind of crashing. Sometimes turning the music on to a pump up type music, that will really help. And sometimes you can just listen to music that's very light, that doesn't have a lot of lyrics, and you can do some thinking, which is another fun way to make it fun. If you've got something you're planning or thinking through and you just need to sit down and think about it, well, sometimes cleaning can help you take the time to think through. So like, for instance, I have a Christmas party coming up this weekend. If I'm cleaning today, I can be thinking through, okay, what appetizers do I want to get? And and what do we want to play? And think like that. And I can write them down if I need to. So I will use the opportunity to think. Sometimes I'll use it to plan, kind of both of those, but it does make it fun for me. I don't know if that'll work for everybody. Another way to make it fun is just, if you have a show that you've seen 1,000 times, and I feel like I've said this a lot, but if you have a show you've seen like 1,000 times, you can just put it on the background, because you don't necessarily, even on your phone with Netflix, you can just like put it on, you know what's going on, you've seen it before, so you're just kind of playing with it in your head, and it kind of makes cleaning go by really fast. I tend to do that a lot when I clean my own home, not so much professionally out in clients' houses. But that does help me just like get home and having to clean my house. I'm like, oh, I'll just put on one of my favorites. I'll just watch that one again. And I think that is a fun way to just pass the time by quickly and not be really struggling through that clean. The fourth one for making it fun is what I call commercial cleaning. And this is fun for me. I do this when I do my laundry. So usually all the laundry gets done in one day for our clothes. And then I bring them all up, I set them on the floor, and I put on a show that I like, it comes out once a week, and as the show is on, I'm folding and putting my clothes and just matching socks. And then when commercials come, I get up and I go clean, or I'll go take some and put them away over there, and I'll go pick up the dishes, I'll go maybe pick up and organize an area, and then I run back and I fold, and then as I get everything folded and the show's wrapping up on the commercials, I'm going and putting clothes and hanging them up, and by the time that the show is over and I've got not only my laundry folded, cleaned, and put away, but picked up the house too. And I don't know why, I just think it's really fun. So commercial cleaning is what I call it. It's my little fun laundry way of doing my laundry. And number 5 would be a reward system. You can do this where you're like throughout the day, if you're doing like a full clean, you could be like, all right, I'm gonna do these 2 rooms and then I can have an energy drink, and then I'm gonna do these 3 rooms and I can stop for lunch. I could do these 3 rooms and I can have that snack that I wanted at the end of the day. So you can use like any kind of reward system during your clean or also afterwards. And I think one nice thing to do is if you're cleaning your house for the day and it's gonna be like that big clean, that you can reward yourself with going out to eat that night, because the last thing you want to do is cook and make a mess, and then your kitchen will last longer. So that's always a nice reward system, or whatever that reward might be for you that would motivate you. Number 8 is planning. So if you are thinking that you are going to get all of the house clean and do all this stuff and the laundry and all of that, and you have 4 hours, but it's like 8 hours of work, you're just going to get overwhelmed, start projects, and may not be able to finish. So I think it's kind of important to plan out. How much time do you have? How much can you accomplish? A lot of times when I'm cleaning, if I ever have to get to like a stopping point, I have like a 30-minute mark before I have to like be done cleaning and maybe get ready for something or have to get out the door for something. But usually I'll knock that 30-minute mark and start working on floors. So whatever I can get done before that, and then floors get hit last, because that is always, you never want to leave the floors if you can help it. But it could be planning, so you're like kind of planning, like for instance, one thing I do is I plan out, like if I'm gonna clean on Friday, that's my big clean day, I'm gonna spend 3 to 4 hours cleaning the house. Then on Thursday, I will make a point to kind of pick everything up and get laundry done, get dishes done, and just make it easy so that when I have to clean the next day, it is just cleaning. And planning out helps a lot too, so you don't get too overwhelmed and take on too much, and then you can't finish, and then you have unfinished projects that just kind of stress you out. So kind of think through how long and how much time you actually have and what you can actually get done, and that will help you. And that will move us into number 9, which is prepping. So you've kind of planned out your clean and all of that. Well, prepping is basically where you want to make sure you have all the stuff you need to clean. You want to kind of, if you walk into, like for instance, a bathroom to go clean that, a lot of times we take the rugs out, we'll take trash cans and like scales and things like that off the ground and kind of pick up and prep that area. And so that's kind of just kind of clearing it out so it's ready for us to clean. When we put the rugs into another room, we'll lay them out so they're ready to be vacuumed. So that's kind of how we prep. And in prepping, we also pre-soak, which is where you can spray down anything. The toilets you can spray down if you need to in the bathrooms. Whatever a pre-soak would help is perfect for as part of your prepping situation. So think through that and make sure you have everything that you need to clean that day at your house and it's all gathered, so you're not like in the midst of cleaning, you're like, oh shoot, I gotta go up and grab that, and it's down in the basement. So just think through and gather it all. It'll help you in the end. I've done this so many times where I just start cleaning and I just waste time. Not usually in my client's house, but in my own home. So that's why I'm sending this to you, because I think prepping can help a lot. Number 10 is water. Water, when it comes to cleaning, is your best friend, and then it's your worst enemy. So you really want to be careful with water, because water can damage a lot of stuff. So you don't want to use a lot of water, especially on wood and certain areas like that where it can seep through. Too much water can just make it it can ruin things. But water is like the number one thing you need for cleaning. So if you have no water in your house, guess what? You really can't clean that house very well. Water is so key. So it is your best friend, and it's also your worst enemy. Just make sure that you're not letting water sit and seeping into wood or anything like that. So we just want to keep that as a rule to remember that it is, Jekyll and Hyde with water. Rule number 11 with cleaning is not necessarily a rule while you're cleaning, but it's one just to think about, and that is think about the clean. And that is when you go and buy new furniture and new things for your home, rugs, nightstands, all of that, you want to think about the clean. I have seen a lot of clients that get these like really beautiful pieces, and they're fantastic, but then they are so hard to clean, and you can't get in there and can't get a good clean. I have also seen where there's like certain pieces where like they fall, like they have like dust, they make a lot more dust, or like they are chipping off, and it's just not very durable, so it makes a mess. And then rugs, you can get when you get a rug, and I've said this before, but a rug, you want it to be really cluttered. If you have like a solid brown rug, it might be really pretty, but you can see everything on there. So think about the clean. So if you think about that, anytime you go to purchase anything for your house, just think about the clean, so that you're not getting something that's gonna make it where it looks beautiful when you buy it, and then after time it just gets dirty and you can't clean it up, and then it's like, oh man, I wish we wouldn't have got that. Number 12 is weather. Use the weather to your advantage, and as a disadvantage, be prepared for it. If it's too cold out and it's below freezing and you try to go clean your windows, it will freeze to your windows. So you want to kind of check that out. Plus, if you're doing outdoor windows, you don't want to be out there in the cold. So weather is a good one. It also is a factor when it snows and it rains, how it's going to affect like the floors coming in. So weather is a little bit more used for the spring and the fall, deep cleaning stuff. In the winter, in the summer, you can do a little bit more deep cleaning inside. But weather is something that you do want to pay a factor to if it's something that would be weather related. Number 13 is to use one product at a time. And what I mean by that is more of if you're gonna try something new, if you're gonna be like, oh, I've got this new product and I wanna try it for my toilet, just do one at a time. You never wanna mix chemicals, especially certain chemicals that can actually be very hazardous. But also if you try something new and you try that and then you try this and then you try this and then you get something to work and you're like, oh, I don't know what it was, or was it a combo? So try one product at a time until you master whatever it is that you're trying to find that magic formula for cleaning. So that's kind of a rule of thumb as well. One product at a time to try. Number 14 is to have a bag where you can put your dirty or wet towels in. So that way it's not getting the other towels dirty. You're gonna have to put it somewhere. So I like to just take little grocery bags, we keep them in our bags, and then as we finish with a towel and it's done and over, we put it in the grocery bag. So you wanna keep those close, and I just think that's a tiny little thing to remember, but it does come in handy. And then you can take the grocery bag, dump it into the washer, grab all of your dirty towels, the kitchen towels, hand towels, all the bathroom towels, anyone like that, throw them in there and you can wash them in that as well. Now that we've gone over all of the 14 rules, I'm sure I am missing a couple, but we'll get those in eventually. Here is 3 quotes while you're cleaning that hopefully can help you and you can use them too. One of them is, and this is what we use like our go-to, is no crumbs left behind. That is kind of the goal when you're cleaning, is to get everything, remove everything, pick up, vacuum, all of it. So just remember that when you're cleaning, no crumbs left behind. Another one that we work by or clean by is don't just hit it, get it. So you can wipe an area, wipe an area, wipe an area, but you are just wiping it. You have to like get it. So like, for instance, on like fridge handle doors, a lot of times underneath the door, that's just like little fingers get sticky and there's a lot there. So you could wipe it down and hit it, but if you don't really actually take the time to feel it and make sure you get all of it, that's not good because we're not really getting what we want done, which is getting it fully cleaned. So that's one that I will hand off to you to use while you're cleaning, but don't just hit it, get it. And then my last quote for you to use, and this one I use usually toward the end of cleaning when you're starting to get tired and you just want to be done and you're like, oh, I have to finish, is #finish strong. I don't know why I said hashtag, but that is what I literally say to my team, to myself, anytime I'm doing a project. I'm like, come on, finish strong. You do not want to get lazy at the end and then have to do something. Like, you came this far, so finish strong when it comes to cleaning, and just hopefully that little rings in your ear. Like, I got this, finish strong. All right, here is 9 items that I must have in my caddy. I think if I have these, I would be good in any house and could almost make anything work. And I'm just gonna go ahead and give them to you so that if you are looking at starting your caddy, there might be a few items you're like, oh, I've got that, but these couple will be great to add to your caddy and make it a little bit easier for you. I'm gonna start with a couple of the cleaning supplies, and I have 3 that I can think of off the top, but if I had only these 3, it would be water, which I mentioned before, water in a water bottle. It would also be Dawn dish soap or water out of a sink too. Dawn dish soap, which is pretty much what we use on everything. It really almost works on almost everything. It's safe, it's good for like natural stones and tiles, and so it's just like a really good go-to. I love Dawn. I have to have Dawn, and I have to have water. And then the other one that you don't necessarily have to have in all houses, but if a house has it, is stainless steel cleaner. If I do not have stainless steel cleaner, I could use Dawn and water, and so I'd be okay, but I love the way I'll use Wellman's stainless steel cleaner works, and it's a go-to, so it has to stay in my caddy. 3 more items I would need is a non-scratch sponge, I need a glass cloth, and then I need towels and microfiber cloths. These I have to clean. I wouldn't be able to do it without these. All these items I pretty much wouldn't be able to do without, besides stainless steel. I could skip that one if I had to, but like, I need it. But those 3 things are important. A non-scratch sponge is nice to have. I do like to get the non-scratch, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't scratch. So I use both sides of that. A glass cloth, and this is one that I feel like is still making around where people are changing the way they clean their glass, and I simply use water and a glass cloth. It is a different, the way that it's beaded is different. It's beaded inside, so it's almost silkier than a microfiber cloth, and you don't really need any product other than water to clean with it, and I love them. I actually get them at the Cleaning Mart, which is here locally in Omaha, and they are amazing. I love them. They're my favorite. If I don't have them, I'll have to use whatever I can, and there are other options that you can, but to get that streak free, they just really do the job, and I just keep them around my house, and gotta have a glass cloth. You also have to have a microfiber cloth and towels, and that you can just find any that you like. You can get them from like a car sales spot. They sell them everywhere, and I like to use towels as well, especially in areas that we're gonna like drench, like a bathroom. So those are the things I have to have. And then the other 3 that I have to have, or they're important, they're not maybe the most important, but is a scoring stick, which I have said this over and over again. This was a game changer for toilets. You scrub out the toilet and get it all, but there's that little ring there that you just can't get, and I'll literally scrub with my hand and can't get. But a scoring stick, which is like a pumice stick, and you can get them almost anywhere, it's a scouring stick. I've been saying it long for like the last 2 years. So anyway, you can get one of those, and they will literally just get it a little bit wet and scrub on porcelain only. Don't put it on the lid. The lid is not the same material, and it will get that ring out for you. And so if I don't have one of those in my houses, I can't quite get to 100%. and it just feels wrong. So I have to always have one of those on hand. Another one is the bristle brush, where you have to, where it has the bristles on it, and that is perfect for scrubbing certain tiles and areas that you need to get in. Like a lot of showers with tile, you have to scrub the grout out in between. So a sponge kind of goes over everything, but the bristles is what you want to get in there. You can also use a toothbrush too, but I like a big one so I can get a lot of space instead of a tiny little toothbrush, which is great for smaller spaces. So you definitely want one of those in your caddy. And the last thing you want is gloves. It's kind of crazy to think that I used to not wear gloves to clean because I didn't want to, and real smart move. But now I can't almost clean without gloves. It feels like there's like a safety component. I feel safer, I feel stronger, I feel like I can get into really nasty places. So it protects my hands from chemicals, which I've had chemical burns all over. So it is important to put gloves on, so make sure you're getting gloves. And gloves are hard to get. This whole last 2 years, gloves has been like a challenge, but if you can get a good pair of gloves, you find them, maybe order them, and you keep ordering the same one. Gloves are really important, so make sure you have gloves in your caddy too. So that pretty much wraps up today's episode, but I'm gonna leave you with 2 habits that I suggest that you take into the next year. One is making your bed. That makes such a big difference if you're starting cleaning habits in your home. I would say start there. That's where I started when I was like, because my house would get kind of messy, and I was one of those that was like all or nothing. But that was the first habit that I actually started doing, and I was like, I'm gonna make my bed, and now I can't not make my bed. It cleans up the room. And you think about it, your bed in your master bedroom, or no, you're not supposed to say master bedroom anymore. My mom told me that, she's a ruler. So I'm gonna repeat that. In your bedroom, you have a huge bed, like we have a king size bed, which I love, but it takes up so much room. So when that is unmade, the whole room looks messy. Sometimes just making the bed picks the whole room up. So if you can start with any habit, I would say start with making your bed. But the one that I think that it really can make a huge difference in keeping your house from getting crazy out of whack is doing a 30-minute, or you pick the time. You can start with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 hour, but I usually do about 30, 15 if I can help it, a day. So you're doing like a 30-minute pickup session, so make sure you have at least one pickup session where you go through and you pick up everything and maybe wipe the countertops, maybe do a quick sweep, and you got 30 minutes just to keep up at that. So those are my 2 little habits. I'd say if you could take them into the next year, they will help you a lot, and then you can start adding more habits onto that, which we'll get into eventually. So thank you so much for watching today's episode and Susan's Cleaning's final episode of the season. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. So what I will do is hopefully come back bigger and better in the second season and switch things up a bit. But for now, I hope you enjoy this wonderful Christmas time into the new year, and hopefully you learned a few cleaning little tips and tricks. Now we are on YouTube, and I will most likely put just real random videos on there. So if you want to go check us out on YouTube, all of our shows from the past will be on there, and anything that pops on here and there as I start kind of on a journey into the new year. I actually will be doing a little bit of kind of vlogging behind the scenes of Another One Bites the Dust cleaning services. So there's gonna be that. So it's kind of a little break, if you will, as we end this season. But you can follow us there. You can also follow us on Instagram. I really enjoyed doing it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next year.